It's LIN Live with Spank and Sam. It's a show for everyone, boy, woman, girl, and man. So tune in on Facebook and YouTube. Guaranteed to make you laugh and make you feel good. Yeah, it's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN Live show with Spank and Sam. The LIN Live show with Spank and Sam.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to LIN Live with Spank and Sam.
Yep, I'm Sam. That's Spank. I'm still terrible. Look,
Bro, you got to practice.
pray for me. It's been a long couple of weeks. We get it through it. We get into it too.
So, they always ask the question, how is married life, bro? How is marriage? How's that treating you?
Marriage has been amazing.
You look so excited about it.
I know my wife was watching the show. Marriage has been great. Marriage has been very, very good to me. Hey, I wonder if anybody remember when Sammy Sosa was like getting indicted with the rest of the baseball players for doing steroids. And he was in there like, baseball's been very, very good to me. And I was like, bro, I know you can speak English, Sammy. No, don't front.
He was just trying to, get out of the whole, like, if I can't speak English, I can't get in trouble.
That's true. And then he bleached his skin. Pray for Sammy Sosa. And speaking of praying for people's mental health, this week, October 4th through October 10th, is Mental Health Awareness Week. So we want to make sure that we all are taking care of our mental health. Take a break when you need to. Seek professional help if you need to for any issues.
Yeah, like just 10 minutes of meditation and quiet time can go a long way for your mental health. So, do that. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. If somebody is harshing your mental health, don't be afraid to kick that person out of your space. Protect yourself.
I won't kick because I can't get my leg that high, but just imagine I was a kick.
Hey, don't let the size fool you. I can kick pretty high. Drop kick.
I'm also sitting down. So
Hey, you just gotta learn how to drop. You gotta learn how to drop kick, like the 1-inch punch. You gotta do a 1-inch drop kick. Yeah. And then it's also something else this month, right?
Yeah, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we want to make sure that we are celebrating those around us who have defeated. Who have defeated breast cancer. So we have some awesome survivors throughout this network, throughout this world. And so let's celebrate those hard fighting warriors who have defeated breast cancer.
Yes.
So celebrate them this month.
We celebrate your mams. The
We
mams
do.
with the mams.
Yep.
Sorry. I was trying to keep it going, but
It's all good. So shout out to the survivors, everybody who has been going through mental health issues and survived, as well as people who have overcome mental health, breast cancer, and mental illness. There we go.
You got it.
It's been a long week. I just got married like a week ago. I'm still getting my wording together with stuff.
So like you've been like just honeymooning the whole week? Like what how have you been spending your week?
Would you really like to know how I've been spending this week?
Like it's just conversation, bro. People want to know like what do married people do other than like honeymoon? Like what do y'all do like on the first week of marriage?
So this week was extremely busy for us. I had a speaking engagement on the 1st of October for a fundraising event where I wore adult clothes. So I was in a shirt and blazer, but I was in Adidas jogging pants because they can only see me chest high. So it was like I was going to preach a sermon up top, but then I'm going to play ball afterwards. So it was.
The Superman that joint, just Superman the shirt and the jacket off, and then you ready to go ball.
Yeah, so that took a lot of prep. It was a dope corporate event. Was there with a lot of well-known people. I don't do name dropping, but just know there were some heavy hitters in those rooms. So it was busy and just learning each other more.
Yeah,
because now we're in the same space, and it's like, you like what? Oh, that's disgusting. You eat what? that's disgusting. You watch this TV show? That's trash. So,
But it's too late now. You can't turn back.
I cannot turn back now. We already committed.
If she watched that trash show, you just gotta sit. You gotta tough it through and watch that trash show with her.
At least I'm not watching Girlfriends this week. Nothing against Girlfriends, but at least I don't have to watch that. Well, I haven't had to watch it. So if you're watching, Lo, please
stop it. I mean, but it went from Girlfriends to Moesha. Now it's the Parkers. The Parkers just got released on there. Everybody's doing this whole reminiscent time where they go back and just watch all the stuff of when we were kids, when we didn't have to pay bills. It just takes you back to a simpler time.
The good times.
That's why I watch Power Rangers sometimes just to be like, man,
hey man,
I've come a long way.
You got to do what you got to do. If anybody wants to pay our bills, we are open to the blessings of the Lord. Please.
Sponsors. We need sponsors for our lives. Just sponsor our lives. You know what I'm saying?
We don't live extravagant lives. We're pretty simple men.
We're very basic. I'm not basic. I'm just.
Right.
I live a simple life. Feed me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Put some cartoons on the TV. See, as a musician, and now that I do this full time, I don't feel like I feel like I've regressed. I used to adult regularly. Now I adult every so often, usually around the first of the month when you got to pay rent and other bills. And then you just you know what? I'm going to be a Toys R Us kid today.
Yep. That sounds good to me.
And especially with this whole pandemic that's happening, I have a lot of free time in the mornings, not necessarily at night, because a lot of people have been doing live stream concerts and stuff like that. And just it pulls you out, and it's but now that the weather has broken, I don't want to do any more outdoor things. I'm ready to just turn the heat up and sit in my living room and work.
Yeah. But being that we live in Chicago, I heard it's supposed to be 70s this week. So,
turn the heat off again.
Right. AK.
Nah, I'm about to just crack this window, bro.
Right. Nah, we good.
We good. Because we got radiator heat over here. So, it took a while to turn it on. Me and my neighbor on the phone was is it on yet? Is it on? We were literally just, all right, turn it up to this. All right, no, turn it down. Okay, nah, okay, it's hot for me too. Yeah, we was finding that perfect balance. So,
hey man, y'all made it work. In the pandemic, it's the best time when you're not adulting to be creative. Be creative. Do some stuff you've never done before. Think of some stuff.
She said it's been in the hundreds in San Diego.
Sheesh,
crazy.
My Lord.
I just got hot thinking about it.
You know what? I told somebody a long time ago. This is before I got saved, which will be a topic at a later date. But before I got saved,
bro. When did you get saved? No, I'm joking.
It's a daily process. But I say, look, you know what? If I don't get saved for any other reason, it's because I don't like the heat. I cannot imagine being hot in that heat.
Do you want to go to hell? Hell no. Do you want to go to hell? Hell no. Do you want to go to hell? Hell no. Hell no. I don't want to go to hell. It's a song, bro. I heard that at a church and I was like, whoa. We can sing this?
Who's our MD over there? They're like,
hey, the MD was killing it. They had whole verses to it.
No, there's other reasons too. There's more important reasons to get saved. But at that point in my life, I was kind of number one. If we being real.
I feel you, bro. Every time we have 100-degree weather here in Chicago, I definitely repent a few times. I repent and then I turn my air conditioner up just a little bit more.
A lot of it.
But yeah, so that's been crazy. So which church did you attend this morning?
So today I was back at church for the first time since getting married. I attended Liberty Temple, Chicago. Apostle Lathan had a really great message. The most powerful prayer. But then during her message, she established that it was probably the second most powerful prayer. But the title is Most Powerful Prayer. So if you get a chance to watch that, check out the replay. She came from Ephesians 3:14 through 21. I got my notes over here.
Come on, notes.
You feels me. But no, I mean, Apostle had some great nuggets in there. She was talking about how we of course have to be people of love and live righteously and live upright, but we can't do that if we have like grudges in our hearts, or if we're if we hate people, if we're doing things that don't fulfill the God that's within us. So if we're going against our nature, which is holiness, then we are literally not being able to like fully embrace what God wants to do within us. And she just talked about how Paul was pretty much checking the church or telling them about, like, through this prayer, like, hey, look, these are things that y'all are lacking on.
Right.
Get it together.
Get your life all the way together.
And it was on point. I was in there like, you right. You right.
I got it. I get it. Catch it.
Right.
It's one of them times where you be like, hold on, Jane. Come on, Jesus. Come on, baby. Like, you gotta come at me like that, baby. Come on, Jesus.
Yo, she said something real simple. She said, yo, you can be saved if you want to. I said, oh, okay, there we go. That's it. That's all. We don't need no more. She said, you can be holy if you want to. It's all about decision making.
It is. Especially when that person cuts you off in traffic. You can be like, am I going to be saved right now? Or am I like, let me just set my holiness aside for a second. You mother.
Well, you can either be saved or you can be saved. He's
going to black it up, huh? He's going to
save. You got to put the two. You got to put two words together. You got to say it twice so they know you mean it.
You saved. I was a part of church for a little bit, but today was supposed to be my vacation day because I had a show, and but I caught a little bit of the Bolingbrook service, and Apostle Darling always goes in on the service, so it's really good. I caught it before the sound went out, which may or may not have been my fault. I don't know how, but it's there's a thing in the network where, like, if something technical goes wrong, it's a blame Spanky thing, like something goes wrong in San Diego. I'm pretty sure like Reggie called me like, Spank, what did you do? And I'm just like, or like something go wrong in Philly, Joe's calling me like, Spank, what did you do? And it's like, geez, I'm not even, y'all having service before I even wake up.
Before you wake up after you go to bed.
Right.
It's not all right.
How am I unconsciously messing stuff up? But like God gives you grace to handle all the blame, all the stones that they be throwing.
Yeah,
I catch them. I throw them back sometimes.
Philly West, Spanky is just joking. We know. I don't even look at the comments. I know.
Me and Philly West, I'm already aware of our beef. I'll be there soon to handle that beef with each and every one of y'all. No, I'm joking. I am a peaceful being. Make love, not war.
Yeah. Amen. Is that in the Bible? Check it out this Saturday. It's not in there. I promise you.
But I go like, when I'm about to go off on somebody, I'm like, look, Jesus flipped tables. Mm-hmm. So I get to flip at least one person. Like, he didn't hit nobody, but he also had people around him that did that for him. Like, they chopped ears. That's true. They kill people. It's like, I just don't happen to have 12 disciples that do it. So I have to do it myself. I'm a team of one.
Yeah, you got to be. Now, if you need a guy, I got a guy. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. I
mean, you see this hand? I'll gladly try Jesus. Don't try me. I throw hands.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all.
It's the theme song of 2020.
That's the benediction. That's the benediction.
What if that was your benediction at your church? All right, everybody stand. It's like, boom, try Jesus. Don't try me. Cause I fight.
Probably right.
Man,
Um,
bro, like, yeah, I mean, hey, it's in the Bible. And then one of the disciples was a professional cusser. He would just cuss people out.
yeah.
Like Jesus be like, let your gift flow.
Look, yeah, we ain't perfect. We ain't trying to be perfect. I ain't. When you perfect, that means you are in heaven. That means you did it all. You did everything you're supposed to do. So if you here, just remember you ain't perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't trying to get perfection. I just strive daily for excellence. And, you know, what does the Bible say? Strive daily, right? That's in the Bible. You know, I don't know where it is. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to put it in the comments.
Somebody put it in the comments. That ain't it.
This is going to give me the eyes emoji. Like, dang. Saints judging. They judging. Quit judging.
We just said we ain't perfect. Look, can anybody right now read or tell us all 66 books of the Bible? Do y'all remember we used to do that in Sunday school? We was kids.
We had to do it in school at Liberty Academy.
Man, look, memorize it. I got good at it too.
I think
really
I did
good.
It once. I did it once, and then they took the test, and then I couldn't do it no more. Like that's how my brain works. It's like I obtain knowledge until like I don't need it no more, and then like, but I know where to go. I know the Bible. Like I can find it in the Bible, but it's like as far as reciting it, I think I did that once in my life, and it's never happened again.
Man, look, I found something out maybe a month or two ago. I was researching the Bible. And I said, why do they talk about tablet of your heart? I said, I said, I don't have a tablet on my heart. And if I did, it'd be an iPad. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. That's how I did it. It was like Genesis through Revelations. Amen.
Amen.
It's like I can say it all in 1 second. Ready? See? Boom, there it was.
But tablet of your heart just means to put things in your remembrance, on your mind. So, study it.
Dude, my tablet got low memory. I got like a 64 gig tablet. And it's all full of music. It's all full of music. And if you want to put music, like I got to delete stuff to put stuff on there. It's like, I ain't gonna remember that song no more. What you need me to learn?
Oh, that is one of the funniest things we see at rehearsals, where somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to sing this really old song," or during the service, and everybody's like, "Bruh, we ain't played this song in 30 years."
I wish we need to do like a musician talk back, like Chronicles. So we, like musicians have mics that we can talk to each other and just be like, bro, you know this? What's the chord to this? When that stuff happens, like musicians just be like, it's crickets. You hear nothing. It's just like, do you know this? No, I know this. Let's do it. Play something. So if that old spiritual just seems a little bit more hip hop and more like there's some fancy chords and it sounds like a tour, for like.
Look, please, if you coming up with some music and nobody in that church know it, don't blame the minstrels. Just know sometimes you be making up your own songs, or it's like some old 19s, 20s joint that nobody knows. So please bear with us.
But my thing is, if the musicians don't know the song, that means you ain't supposed to be singing anyway. You out of line. You wasn't on the program. Who put you on the program? Nobody. Get off the program. Put that microphone down. That microphone people get power when they get that microphone. Like, stop it. Like, this is not your time to sing, nor can you sing.
You know who else has power over the microphone? The audio techs.
Facts.
Don't try us. Do not. Speaking for audio techs.
That mute button is powerful, bro. I mean, trust me, y'all put y'all lives in the hands of a good sound engineer. It'll either make you sound like $1 million or make you sound like the trash that you're singing into that microphone. But yeah, we're getting into our topic for tonight. Like, man. So, man, yeah. Let's just get into it, because I'm pretty sure this brother that's coming up has a lot to say about terrible. No, I'm joking. We're not gonna talk about terrible. We do have the power to turn you off
Yes.
and turn you up or down.
And also we answer to
What?
a higher power. And so we're usually taking cues from our leadership. So if they don't like what you're saying or how you sound, if you get cut off,
Man, Apostle Turner had this one cue, and Rob been talking about it all the time. It goes from one ear to the other. It's big.
yeah, gotta go.
If you ain't doing it, you gotta go off.
I think I know all of our leaders' faces. They have like a look too. Some of them don't do anything. They have a look, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
I mean, Apostle Nathan just goes, well, praise the Lord.
If you do what it was, that's what.
Praise the Lord.
Give it a testimony.
I mean, that's true. Apostle Ray would do it on his own. What did the Lord say? What did the Lord do? What did the Lord do? I hear you talking. I'm gonna let you finish. But what did the Lord do?
Yeah. Let's get to the point. Remember the 3 B's.
What's that?
Be yourself. Be brief. And be seated.
And if you can't do that, don't stand up in the first place.
And most importantly, be brief. Be brief. Let us know. Let us know what the Lord doing.
Like, you don't start your testimony back when you was a kid. Like,
you know,
in 1937, my great. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
But let's get into it, man, because I feel we're digressing because I feel like all of these things are coming from a place for both of us, and we got some healing to do. Y'all pray for us.
Pray.
We've been scarred.
We have been
by terrible singing and terrible just not. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's do. We're gonna get into our segment tonight, y'all. It's called Professional Production. Please welcome to the broadcast our brother from San Diego, Reggie Williams.
Hey, welcome, Reggie.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going?
The people are clapping. You got to imagine that they're clapping.
Give me the jazz snaps.
So I figured you would be a good fit for tonight because not only do you do production for your church, but you also have done professional production for venues and other things outside of church. So like people that pay you thousands of dollars to do stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I've done a little bit. Currently, I work at the convention center, and there's a lot of that is pretty much I do a lot of that there. So I get a chance to see all spectrums of, the craft. It's pretty fun.
Because production is so much more than just what you see. There's so much behind the scenes for production that people don't even realize, and we're gonna let you guys in on some of that tonight. So let's kind of go through it. Let's start with audio since we were already there.
Okay.
So, I do audio too professionally, and like I feel like the best way to show that you do your job is when people not know that you're there. Like what do you feel is like what makes a professional audio person a professional audio person to you, Reggie?
I think being able to create the sound that you want, or the sound that who the artist or whatever it is, if they're just speaking, that they feel like they're just talking normal, and there's no problem with it. And to be able to take constructive criticism without going off, I think is a plus. Because sometimes it comes off, and you just got to roll it and just And I heard you guys talking about muting mics. That's something that it's kind of tempting sometimes to press that button, but you want to try to give the best quality effort that you can do. Sometimes it's harder than others, depending on who the I'll just say artist for the sake of words. Who the artist is. sometimes you have to you know, do a little praying, tweaking as you as you tweaking the mic, because yeah.
I call it removing boogers and naps. You got to watch out for the boogers and naps. You know, they're like,
Yes,
we are
sir.
definitely going to mute your mic. You will be muted.
I seen a video that somebody did that, and the artist was like, "Turn me up," and he just kept turning them down. And he was yelling, and he's like, and then he'll bring him in for like a second, cut him back off, and he's like, "Hey, get."
He must ain't get his check.
That had to be it.
He must ain't get his check.
Man.
Like, what people don't realize is the audio guy is the person that you need to be friends with the most.
Yes.
Like, that's the person you need to be the nicest to, because he's gonna make or break your set. If you're an artist, if you're in church, still like, especially like if you're the pastor or the worship leader, like you need to be that person. That audio engineer needs to be your best friend. And then also, like, audio is like the job that people that sit in the audience feel like they can do when things are going wrong. So they hear feedback. They like, you hear that, right? You hear that, right? Like,
Looking at you like, you don't hear that? You don't hear that? What's going on?
Well, Apostle
McNeely, we've never done that to you. Apostle McNeely, I've never done that to you. I know I personally haven't. Reggie, you probably have, and then
I haven't. No.
Sam
I don't
definitely
think-
have.
No, I can't throw you under the bus like that. All I'm gonna say, if this was old school Liberty, if y'all have a problem with audio, you know, put on a purple jacket, come in the booth, come join us with the purple people eater jackets.
Not the purple jackets. But yeah, it's just like, you know, first and foremost, like, if you're hearing it in the audience, it's more than likely the sound engineer had been working on it before you even heard it.
Yeah.
A good one. Now, if you got, like, you know, the loyal saint that's been in the audio ministry that has never learned anything, but they just show up to church on time faithfully, you know, God bless them. Like, pray for them, you know. But like,
yeah,
I feel like
gotta have definitely gotta have the people with the heart for it, because you know sometimes you get the volunteers and it's all good, but you know if they hear that ring and they just can't figure out what it is, it's just gonna be a long day.
Man, speaking of heart, so you kind of led me into the clip that I wanted to show. I wanted to show this clip, and if you want to see more of this clip, I'll put the link in the comments after the show. But I just want y'all to check this out real quick, and then we can expound on this real quick after. Let me pull it up. One second. Here we go.
We thank God for you too, Apostle McNeely.
Definitely.
You the man.
You the man.
You dumb man.
So for the way that I run my video team, my whole heart is that they would worship first and capture second. I never want them to feel like they need to impress me, because there's nobody to impress. The Father's already impressed with them. God is already impressed with them. So there's no reason why they need to impress me at all. And you can see it across in their work. The heart behind it for us is worship first, capture second. And all of my cam ops are up there. They're worshiping through their craft and worshiping as they're like, even if they're making adjustments or walking to get another shot. I have countless people come up and tell me like, hey, that camera operator there, it was amazing to watch them actually stop, lift their hands up and worship for a couple of seconds and then go back to work. So that's been my heart coming into it. It's also the same heart as the house, where worship would come first.
I think a lot of the time it's easier to see Jesus in the little things. Being set apart means to look different, right? The sheer multitude, the millions of tiny decisions that we make every day, those actions or inactions are what make up our hearts and determine, away from public image and fame, our nearness to the heart of Jesus. In every tiny system at Bethel, in every aspect of tech, I saw something that was different than the normal production world, than secularism. Every heart was postured for worship. At one point during worship, one of the camera ops put down his camera while I happened to be filming and started praying for a guy in front of me. I've never thought like that. Worship first, work second. So what is the heart behind the Bethel tech team? What I think makes the tech setup function so well for Bethel is in the willingness of the whole team to be a part of a team, using each of their unique talents to better fit a greater role.
And I've been thinking a lot about it as you guys.
So yeah, Bethel is one of my like biggest. Sorry, just did a little juggling with the picture. But Bethel is like one of the people I kind of look to for inspiration when I'm running my teams, or and just like cool ideas of what we can do in church. But like that, having that heart of worship first and then work second, like I feel like that is important in any ministry, from music to dance to, you know, media or production, because media and production are not the same thing. Let's just put that out there right now. Media and production are two separate things. Hello, churches.
Media, production.
So production is like that's your audio, your video, your lights, your presentation, the words and lyrics and stuff like that. And then media is usually your social media, your marketing, your public relations, that stuff. Those are two separate things. And when you try to make people do the same, all those jobs, you know, you're going to burn out that person. And then two, something is going to get missed, and like you won't get the best product, or they won't worship God the best way that they can. So, you know, if you have the ability to do it, try to separate those, you know, do your best.
Oil and water.
Huh?
Oil and water. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It won't mix.
They should mix, because they do work hand in hand. But if you burning people out like that, like, of course, it's going to, like, one, you're changing their heart of why they do it. Mm-hmm. Like if you don't know, if you can't do it, we need a class on this for the church. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think it's become a thing of survival for churches, because like they don't have all these people to do all these things, and churches require all of these things, especially now, because in this digital age where like you have to be on social media, you have to do it right. Because if you don't do it right, then you become irrelevant and you fall to the wayside, and like you get trampled by these people who have these millions of followers, you know?
Yeah.
But so how important do you think having that heart of worship is to your team that you run, Reggie?
I believe it's the most, well, I say pretty much the most important thing. You know, that's why we come, is to worship God. And, you know, if you lose that mentality and you get so caught up in the things of, you know, and that's why sometimes the production sides get a little tainted, because we focus so much on the aspect of, oh, I got to get this, I got to get this, that we miss that we're just trying to create the best experience of people meeting God. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we try to do our best to, you know, if it is lighting, you know, one thing I learned when I was teaching is people learn in few different ways. Some learn, you know, hands-on, some learn by you just saying it, some have to write it down, and then some, you know, it takes a whole bunch of like pretty much a conglomerate of that. So as we do our craft, we have to understand that people learn in those certain ways. So, you know, that is one aspect of how they're getting their worship, you know, but we can't think it's the whole thing, like just because we do it, you know, and that's the mentality that messes, you know, if we keep focusing on worshiping God during everything we do. And that's one thing I always believe. If you're going to take the trash out, if you do it unto God, God is going to be blessed. And just because, you know, our faith is in God's word, in that if he said, if you do this, I'm going to be pleased, then you do it. So, you know, we get favor from God and all of this stuff. And I'm telling you, your life will change just by just doing that. Like, if it's singing that one song, and I tell them a team sometimes, you guys should be able to sing the same worship song, and it's something different because God means something different to you every time. So if we keep that worship in our heart, you know, every time should be different. Every time should be anew. It should be fresh, just because the way your heart is to God. I'm pretty sure, well, hopefully you read the word and you got something out of that, you know, word. So you should be growing every day.
Hold on, let's answer this question. How important is it as worshipers? Can you put that question back up, Amina? Thank you. How important is it as worshipers to understand and know production?
It's not important. Unless that's your your ministry, but I mean, I know parts of it. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to know everything.
As a worshiper, yeah, I mean, you can do that at the house. You don't need a sound system to worship God at your. You know, basic.
But I'm saying, like, if you're at your church, you should know what people's what the limitations of that job is. So, for instance, you are not going to ask your audio person to turn the lights on. At least you shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't be asking your camera operators to move this lectrum. Like, they have to get the shot. Like,
it's true.
So, like, every aspect of production is important because we're creating the experience. We're enhancing the experience personally, and then we're recreating that experience for people who are on the other side of the camera. So that is why, like, we are super important to every service and every aspect. So, you know, people see the lights, they see the smoke, they see, you know, the cameras. Is like, is all that necessary? Well, I mean, you're creating an atmosphere that makes it comfortable for people to worship. So like, some people, like, they see that smoke and it invokes a, you know, a gratefulness, and, you know, like, that one color of light can trigger something in somebody to make them fall deeper in love with God. And like, because you're worshiping through your craft, you're tapping into God, and you're ministering through your lights. You're ministering through, you know, the camera. You're ministering through audio. Like, you're just, all those people are just as important as the worship leader that's on the stage. They're just as important as the pastor that's giving the message, because without them, that message won't get out.
Yeah, we're all in church for the same exact reason. We all come to be worshipers. So, like, if you're part of the production team, you're a worshiper. If you're a part of the security team, you're a worshiper. If you're an usher, you're a worshiper. So no matter what you're doing,
you should be worshiping.
But should be. But
should be. Let's
I think a lot of times for production people, especially if you're in a church where you don't have a lot of people who can help you out, or you're burnt out, it can be hard at times to figure out how to be a worshiper and also do your craft. And that, I think that's just, if you aren't trained on, or if you don't know that, you just worship through your craft, like you said, Spanking, like you've been saying, Reggie. If you worship through your craft, then it becomes easy to you, and it's second nature. One thing I think we do well at Liberty is, especially for me, and I know the team in Chicago, we pray, you know, before we do certain things. Like, anytime before I touch the board, I pray. Anytime before, you know, I do lights, you know, I pray. Just so we know that, or just so I'm establishing within myself that this is first. So my relationship with God is before any of this behind the scenes stuff I do.
But then prayer opens that channel to God too. So he's able to minister to you and give you the right color for lights, or the right effect to put on the vocals at this moment. You know, how, like, cause it's an instrument, and just like any instrument, you have to practice before you get there. Like,
that's what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry, like, you know, God bless those people that just, like, stand in front of something and then pray that the Lord, you know, show them how to do it, and then they put their hands on it and things just happen. And it's like, no, it doesn't always work that way. I've seen people, like, pray themselves out of a bind, but, like, you gotta know something before you go in there. Like, you can't just, like, sit at a piano and be like, you've never touched the piano before, and just pray to God, guide my hands. And you about to play, like, you know, total, right? You got to be total praising in there, like, because you prayed for God. Like, it's like, let's do total praise for worship, and you in there playing chopsticks. No, it doesn't work that way.
Hey, but if you give your whole heart to it, God will be blessed. People ears might not be. God God. Like,
It's like you gotta do your personal worship at home. Like that's between you and God. You know, get your little Casio keyboard at the crib and just like play chopsticks to God all night. Like let Him bless you through chopsticks. But when you come to church, let the people who have studied these crafts for years do their jobs.
Study to show yourself approved. You feel me? So study.
Right. But that's I feel like that's one thing that people don't realize is like they just see what happens on Sundays or they see what happens on Wednesdays or whenever your Bible study is. And it's like, no, there's preparation for every part of service. Like,
yeah.
For what they don't understand for production and for music ministry and everything, like once Sunday is done, Monday is we're working on the next week. And like, that's why like a lot of people are like wanting like, or need to, or should be getting paid from churches just because of the amount of time that is required to adequately prepare for the next service. Mm-hmm. There's practice, there's personal practice time, there's rehearsal, there's, if you have to like edit video for the next week or you're doing social media edits, like, dude, I've definitely, my video editing skills have grown like since we've started this show, just because like I'm doing all of the edits for the week. And it's just like, I sit down on Monday and I just download the show and like I go through the show and I try to make all of my assets for the week and just schedule them out. But like, dude, that's hard to do every week.
It takes a lot of planning and becoming efficient in what you're, let's say it's the board. If it's the board, learning how to become proficient to where it doesn't take so much time to do everything. You got to keep getting better, because if not, when the chaos does come, it makes it more stressful, because you're trying to figure out in your head, and then you getting the pressure from different sides, just like, but you have to really understand, okay, why is this going like this? So I urge everybody, if you're gonna do audio, video, whatever it is, you have to put that time in, because you never know what situations are gonna come up at all. So you always have to be on your game. You always have to expect the worst. And if you plan your I can't say set, but pretty much plan your set out, and then if you have everything organized, if something comes up, that's kind of like, oh, okay, and let me add this in. Okay, let me put this in. And it's a little bit easier. But if you don't have anything established already, right, and then, it's just changing, and then, people expect like beautiful work of arts. And I've done some pretty big shows at the convention center where it's like half a mile, like it's pretty much like 2 city blocks worth of, audio, video. They got like 15 big screens, and, they got speakers throughout the whole building and all this stuff. And everything has a process to it. Like on this day, we're just going to do lighting. On this day, we're going to do audio and video. Okay, on this day, we're going to work on the cameras. So everything has a process. So they'll do 2 days of just practicing. The guy go up there and do his speech in front of nobody, and, do all this stuff in front of nobody. And it was like, okay, I'm going to put this up here. Oh, okay. So then they'll put the graphic up, and they'll work all of that stuff out.
But
and
before that, Reggie, what people don't realize is like, it took months to get to that point. Yeah.
Months.
It took months. So like your speaker is emailing everything that they're going to put in their presentation a month before. So like we get these pastors that like, they want all this extravagant production on Sunday for their message, and they ain't told nobody nothing about their message. We don't even know the title. But I want scriptures up. I want these animals to come across here. I want explosions. Right. Like we gonna do a whole thing. And it's like, oh god, what is the title of your sermon?
Right. Like I'm gonna make up a song on the spot, but I want you to put the words up too. What? Okay.
So I'm gonna pray that God dropped the lyrics that you about to sing that you don't even know yet.
And he dropped that in my heart. Discernment.
You gotta be Professor X. That's just what it is. You gotta be able to read minds and be like, oh my god. Okay. All right, disciples. Okay. All right, I got it. And people don't realize too, there's warfare that comes behind this.
Oh yeah.
And it can be intense, especially doing like in rehearsals or
I agree.
It might not be that bad, but when you get into the services, like it come crazy. We don't just be we don't be playing around up there. We literally be like going through it. Like, y'all should be praying. If y'all see something going wrong doing service, pray harder.
Like, so I'm grateful for the growth that we had. Like, for instance, because I'm so what people may not know is I'm the media director for the network and working on Convocation. The growth of how we've done it has grown within the last few years of me running it, and that's because like you have to get people to realize like you want this, so I need you to send this to me like now. If you want this for August, you should be sending me stuff in June. Like we should have a plan in January of what we're going to do in August. And if we don't have that plan, then we're planning, like what they say, not planning is planning to fail.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily programming God out of it, but you are giving him something to work with. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you don't do that, like give him the bare minimum. Like he literally turned 5 loaves and 2 fish, right?
Yeah.
If you can't give God two fish and 5 loaves, then, like, give him something. Like, don't just come on Sunday like, yeah, I want this whole $1 million type of Beyonce production on Sunday, and but I don't know what we're gonna sing yet for praise and worship. Like, it's like I don't know what we're gonna do for praise and worship, but I need all the lights to hit right on cue. I need, I need this echo on this one part of the song that I still don't know the words to yet. I'm having my iPad up there or my iPhone looking at the words.
Don't worry, brother. You'll fill me out.
Right. Or what's the word that's the bane of my existence? We're gonna flow.
Oh,
like
man.
that's the bane of every production person's like life. If a like you're like, you know what? No, we don't have this. We don't have this. We're just gonna flow. No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. I need to know what you're planning on doing. Like if you're doing lights, I need to know if you're gonna stand in a part of the stage that's not lit. Like we need to work out where you're gonna stand. Like if you're doing cameras, if you're gonna run out in the audience and there's like no way our cameras can capture you, guess what? You're just gonna be missed out. Like.
Right.
You are no longer
or
part
you
of
don't, or the range of the microphone, depending on where you're at. The range of the microphone only goes but so far. You just run out there.
Like, bro, that is my favorite thing is just to watch people get choked up by the cable.
Invisible cable.
Or they just unplug the microphone and they look at you like it ain't working. You just unplugged the cable because you overextended your grace. You only had this much grace. You only had 25 feet of grace, and you went 27. Yeah. Now you out there naked.
No covering.
No covering. I can't do
preach right there.
You only got 25 foot of grace. This microphone cable is 25 feet. That's as far as you can go.
But my faith say it can go further.
All right.
But not with this cable said. Not with this. No.
All right. No.
But cable that works is dead. So unless you got another cable that you're gonna attach to it in the middle of your run, we can't help you.
They're doing magic tricks. Na 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 na. Oh man, Family Guy. The way the Family Guy picks like Jesus is just. Oh God. Okay. But no. So get back to the topic. Getting back to the topic. So we just want to inform people that like it takes more like for people to do something right. You have to plan for it and to not just come in on the last minute. Last minute is the most stressful thing for any type of person that, especially professional, like anybody who has done this for a living. You come to them last minute, they just gonna look at you sideways like, what am I doing with this? You should have gave me this at the beginning of the week. Mm-hmm. And that's standard. Like You know, like that's a standard that needs to be reestablished in every church. Last minute stuff is unacceptable. Like, period. Like, why? Like, why do it? Like, like that. Ooh, I ain't gonna put nobody out there, but but I am. But I ain't gonna say no names. So, you know, we would get these videos on Sunday morning. Like, our service is at 11:30. We would get emails at 10:30 for us to play this video for the 11:30 service. Now, we don't have the best internet at our church. And usually if we have to play a video, it's downloaded at someone's house and brought on a flash drive and, you know, stuff that, you know, we are aware of our shortcomings.
Yeah.
And we've worked around these shortcomings until the Lord bless us to get, you know, these shortcomings rectified. And, you know, and then they'd be like, why didn't you guys play the video? Well, it's still downloading. It's been downloading since 10:30. It's 11:30, and it's it's only at 32%.
We were in Sunday school as well, so we had to leave Sunday school.
Right, and now we're getting yelled at by the pastors, like, why you guys are not in Sunday school? Well, we're trying to download this video for the service, you know, that you want. It's like,
it's happened to me to where I've gotten that. Like, I'll get the email and I'm up there actually doing praise and worship playing. And I'm like, how am I going to get back there? Because, you know, right now it's just me. But I'm like, okay, I got to get back there. I was like, I can't start downloading. So I try to download it on my phone and see if I could just send it over real quick. But, you know, it's a challenge sometimes.
That's why I said, like, switching to Apple has been a benefit for me just with the Airdrop feature. So, like, I can download something on my phone and then Airdrop it to my computer and play it. Like, but, you know, every church is not blessed to have the latest Mac, you know, computers or, you know, an ecosystem set up to where you have, like, the most lightning speed, you know, internet. And it's like, especially if like AT&T is your service provider, you will never, ever get speeds to download anything.
Unless y'all want to sponsor us, AT&T, then our speeds would be amazing.
Right.
We'll sit in that tub with you, AT&T. Oh God. But
yeah, and we don't mind doing the stuff. So we're not just here like nitpicking.
Your wife telling
we don't
you,
mind
Reggie.
doing it.
Your wife telling on you, she said you think the Apple is the devil.
We also have one of those
PC,
on that.
We also have a PC guy in our network that is very, very against Apple.
Yep.
But go ahead and expound on it, Reggie. Tell us
So
why.
I'm not against Apple computers or, you know, I think the phone is overrated. But, you know, that's just my personal. I mean, I have the Note. And the Note is probably the best out of the Galaxy phones. So my standard of what an Android is the Note. So, you know, everything that I do, like I can do 15 things at one time. I can have like my email on one page. I can have, you know, this taking notes on another page, and I could be watching the game too at the same time. You know, I could do that kind of.
That's what you be doing in service. You be over there like,
nope. I'll be focusing on
Reggie don't be on the keys for real.
Right.
Hey, the way tracking works, the only thing you got to do is hit play.
I mean, so I didn't say no names.
We pre-recorded this.
I mean, I didn't say any names. But look at it. Now I'm got beef in Chicago.
No.
But right. But I'm just saying, like, the reason, like, I feel like, you know, switching to Apple especially for production, is a lot of the software that we use for production is started on Mac first and then, you know, migrated over to PC. So it just works better. Like, I never had such an easier time with Pro Tools and a bunch of other things until I started using my MacBook for it. And I'm just like, oh, this is how it's supposed to run. Like with PC, you gotta do so many you gotta do so many workarounds to make it work. And it's just like, no, my life is easier now.
I do agree with that. I have a Mac computer, but
Part of professional production is literally being able to adjust and being open to other things. Because we all have our things that we're like, I'm not going against this personal preferences. But if I see something else is working better and it'll work better for the whole, then why not? You know, I can still talk trash about it, you know.
Right.
But I want to use it 'cause it's good. Right.
Don't get me wrong, because like I was an Android user before I got this iPhone, and like I had like a half a terabyte of memory in my phone, and I was carrying around Pro Tools sessions on my phone and just plugging them in, and that's the session that we like. I'll go to a studio and just plug my phone in, and now we have the whole session. I can't do that now, but but if there's a track that I need the band to listen to, I could just drop it into a group chat that with everybody with iPhones, and now everybody can listen to that track at a high quality. Like it don't have to be like run through another software to make it happen. Like I could literally just drag, you know, the WAV file from my computer into the text bubble, and now everybody has that track that we're gonna play for tonight. And like it's like that ecosystem has made.
They have good emojis too.
I don't know, who uses emojis like other than everybody in the chat right now? As I say that, I'm like looking at everybody emojis.
Like, we have
that's
the part I always laugh at. That like when I choose to argue with an Apple person, like we have better emojis and we take great selfies. Okay, have fun with that.
Right.
That's all we need it for.
If that's what you're using your phone for, then you know.
I mean, but I'm saying for production.
For
production, you know, just having that Apple ecosystem has made like my workflow here in my house so much easier. So like when I'm recording somebody in my studio, like now I can like send them like what they did that day immediately, you know, versus having to like, you know, bounce it out and put it in the Dropbox or put it in the Google Drive and send you a link, and then you know you got to accept the link, and then I gotta, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see how that could be frustrating. You almost persuaded me.
But okay, so let's put it back for church though. Like say for instance, everyone is using Mac software or Apple computers at the church, and you guys have, you know, your chat bubble up. You have instant contact without having to put on headsets and talk to everybody. You can like literally just send that message to everybody and have that live notes. You know, where if things change, you can just like change it and it like automatically change. We use it for the show. Like we do that for the show here. So like just having that.
Apostle, I'm not against iPhones. I've been team iPhone for years now. I just want to put that out there for the sake. It's like, Sam, you team Android. No, I'm not.
But no, it makes things a little bit faster too, because like when Apostle Darling has a flyer that she wants to put up, she could just drop it to me or airdrop it to me, and then it's up there on the screen. You know, like having that option of accommodating people who may not have been, you know, as prepared as we would like them to be. You know,
got you. So it's a good scapegoat for the people that aren't prepared. Got you.
It helps us. The people that are running things.
I can see how I might get one just for that.
I mean, it's in the plan for the network, guys. Everybody who is in ministry, we are looking to switch everybody over to Apple. So please prepare yourself. It's just so we can all be on one accord. Because when y'all call me with these issues, I know how to fix your issues.
I have AirPods, Apostle McNeely. He's like. He coming from my head. I got AirPods in. I promise you.
That's what he using for the show right now.
That's what I'm using.
So I mean, like that, and just having and that's another thing about professional production is having the right tools for the job. You know, and buying and purchasing and investing the first time, so you don't have to keep purchasing. You know, the Band-Aids to make things work. Because like, how many times have you come into a situation where your sound system or something is held together by like a paper clip, a shoestring, and a prayer?
MacGyver text.
You know, there's one in every church. There is one in every church without a fail.
Give me a shoestring, a banana peel, and
this piece of dry spaghetti. Give me a piece of dry spaghetti. I can fix it.
And go. Don't move now.
I swear, like. If you walk into some of these churches, like if a police walk in and they see some of these churches sound system set up, they think they're building a bomb, because everything is just like so like like bubble gum and paper clip.
Just drop some anointed oil and it'd be all right.
That is the best thing for something like that. Like,
yeah, and being able to use different things makes you more versatile. So if you are someone who is learning production in the church and you become skilled and mastered at using different tools, you can take that outside the church and still make money for yourself because you're not just limited to one thing. So if Apple is the thing for the next 5 years, and then 5 years after that, then Samsung comes up with these great, amazing ideas that makes it easier, then you go with
iPhone
Samsung.
gets 5 years later.
I mean, that's how it is,
It may be 5 years later, but then it'll take that 5 years for any software that is available to you when you update. Then it'll work. There's some computers that you just can't update because software won't work until like you have to wait for the software to catch up to the update. So like, I'll wait that 5 years if I know it's gonna work.
And it happens a lot, and that's one of the things. I kind of started with a Windows computer, and I love Windows just because I can update and do what I want. Because I don't go on the internet and surf crazy stuff, so I ain't got to worry about viruses and all of that. I'm not downloading some mysterious thing from somewhere. Right. So, like, I mean, if you're not on the internet, it's impossible to get a virus. So, if you're doing the proper protocols, you don't have to worry about that. But it's especially if you just use it for whatever you're using it for. And I just liked it because I could upgrade it. Like, I have a Mac Pro downstairs with like 24 gigs of RAM and all of this stuff, but I can't do nothing with it just because, it's outdated or whatever. So I can't, the only way I can upgrade it is like pretty much buy a new one. Instead of, with the Mac, I could just buy a whole new processor like, oh, that's it, But for the sake of argument, Mac does.
I'm not saying for the sake of argument. I'm just saying like if you plan like and you're using the right tools, then you won't overstand like its usefulness. Say for instance, like you have a computer that you like. Some churches have this one Mac computer that's running like 4 or 5 like heavy softwares, and it's just like, well, if you just go ahead and like buy maybe another Mac, like if you save your money and buy another one and just alleviate the weight of that computer, then it'll last longer. It is just like bringing in professionals that know how to plan out your systems to where it's being used adequately, and like there's nothing wrong with like not buying until you have everything you need, like all the money for it. Like a lot of churches just like, well, I need something now, or I want something new, but I don't have the money for it. It's like, no, just save, or like, do a building fund, because people are willing to give it, like, especially if they feel like they have a part of, or they feel ownership of it. Like they're willing to sow into something that they have ownership of. So if this product that you're going to buy for your production is going to make your church look better overall, like online, or like the presentation of your church, then they're going to be willing to share their church with other people. So now it's going to pay for itself because now your investment is getting returned. God is returning on your investment. And it's just like thinking of it that way versus, oh my God, this board is $2,000. How are we gonna
cheap man? But
right.
But that's why I said it, because people like they see $2,000 and they're like, oh my God, how do we do this? Like first and foremost, you didn't bought this building that cost $1.5 million. You didn't put these seats in here that cost $250 per chair, and you got what 2,000 chairs in there. You got all the best carpet, all the best wallpaper, all the best paint, but your sound is like a Radio Shack sound system.
Yeah,
like. Cool. Like that's not right. You're not giving God your best. Like your lighting is literally a floodlight on a switch. Like what do you like? Your camera is an iPhone on a stand. Now there's nothing wrong with that if that's all you have, or it's like a quick little fix. But if this is something that you're planning on doing for a long time, invest in it.
Yeah.
Because the more you invest in it, like the longer it's going to last you. Like, yes, technology changes every
Right,
5
yeah.
to 10 years, right?
Faster than that.
It's faster than that now, especially in this pandemic. Like, it has caused like technology to have to step up faster. I'm gonna get to cameras because God, I mean, we can't really talk right now. We're still working on it. But we're gonna get there. The plan is in there. We've been planning.
Yeah, have to invest in what you're going to use for the long run. Also invest in your people too, because at times for you can get away, and I'm not giving you a scapegoat out. So this is not a scapegoat. This is not a scapegoat. But if you don't have the finances to get new camera equipment, new soundboards, or whatever it is that you need, invest in your people. So bring in somebody who can train your people on what you have, and they can get the best quality out of it until you're able to afford. So don't go into debt trying to get stuff. You know how to people who can actually work it. And don't just stay lax behind and just say it is what it is, because you don't have the funds. There's a happy medium, and you can be successful.
And I would say also,
what that works.
And one thing I would say too, depending on the size of your ministry and what your plans are for the future, sometimes you don't need a 50,000 kilowatt lighting system because you were in the hole in the wall. I agree you should put out your best effort and your best quality. Yeah. But sometimes you overextend yourself trying to be like somebody else. But what is your vision for your house? And then make that vision come true. And then you don't have to worry about spending it. Maybe your ministry don't need lights. Maybe it's not, that's not your cup of tea.
Right.
That's fine. So, you don't try to be what somebody else is, especially if God has already given you a plan for your ministry. You should strive to better your ministry. So, if you got, let's say, we have praise and worship. Let's say another church, they just have, they got a bongo section and they got 50 bongos, you know what I mean? So you would plan for that instead of planning for, an orchestra that another ministry has. Right. Like, oh, we got to get these mics because they got an orchestra over here. And, they're chasing the fad instead of trying to line up with what their mission is for their ministry.
But that's the thing. You have to have a goal and a plan for your ministry. What is your ministry's goal? Like, if your pastor is not a musical pastor, then y'all probably won't have the best, sound, or if your pastor's not a technology person, then that's usually, if you look at the statistics, most pastors who don't have the knowledge of these things, that's usually where they're lacking, and they don't surround themselves with people who have that knowledge. So it's like, say for instance, you are like a singer. Your pastor is from a singer. So then now you have this killing music ministry. You got all the best musicians, all the best singers, but now your sound system can't accommodate that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or your pastor has a timely word that's catching fire when he do selfies from his house. But then you get to your church and your camera system can't accommodate getting the message out past the four walls. Mm-hmm. You have to know what the goal and your plan and your scope of your ministry is before purchasing these things. And then we'll wrap this up soon. But future proofing yourself. I feel like that's where a lot of churches get shot in the foot, is because they fail to future proof themselves. They buy for where they are now and not for where they're going. Mm-hmm. So if you do know where your scope is of your church, that 32 channel mixer that you're going to get may be too much for you right now, but it'll be perfect for you 5-6 months down the road when your music ministry grows.
Oh, that's true.
Or you have a camera system and you have 2 cameras now, but you buy a video switcher that can house up to 8 cameras. So now you've definitely future-proofed yourself to where you don't have to go buy another piece of equipment because you've overextended yourself on this one piece of equipment because you bought it because it was the great price and it was what you can afford at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's just. I'm sorry. I'm. It's not a rant.
No. You had. That's why it's like I like what he said. It has to be a balance because can't overextend yourself, but you can't underextend yourself either. Especially if you have a big vision and you know God has given it to you, and you know you need to reach certain people.
Yeah.
Then like Amina said, the people that do it put them in the planning. Because in the end, ultimately in the end, the leader's going to make the decision.
Right.
But with the council of people that's in this, doing certain things, they're going to help you make a good decision. If you decide to do the opposite, well, at least you got sound counsel.
Right.
But if you just do it just based on prices and based on, so-and-so down the street got the microphone with the four, the four thing, they got it for $79, 4 mics for $79. We can save with that. You go 2 feet away from the receiver.
Oh God. Can we not talk about that? That just took. I used to work at Guitar Center. That just took me to a whole another place.
You still
But it's true.
Deliverance.
Dude, I am still like because we had to, you had to set up the display in the middle of the floor, and it took everything in me to not knock it down every single time it was set up. I'm like, oh God. And then you see the churches come in and be like, what? This is such a great deal. And I'm like, no, it's not.
What would Jesus do? He would not have. I promise
you want to try to keep her, but you're like, do I want to sell? It's better to let them know the truth, though.
I definitely made sure I didn't sell any of those. So you can go back to my numbers and you can see that I never sold not one of those systems to a church, because I was like, if I sell this to you, you're going to come back to me in 1 month and you're going to be pissed because I sold you this system. And I'm like, I don't want you coming back to me. If I'm selling you something, I don't want you to come back because it doesn't work. I want you to come back because you want more versus replacing. But that goes to when people when they're building these buildings, they don't bring in a sound engineer. They don't bring in an acoustical engineer to bring it to the planning stages. They bring they be like, okay, how much money we got left after building this building? All right, let's go get a sound system with that. No, you've already failed. You've failed. When you think that it's okay, you're building a church and you're like, okay, we need sound, we need lights, we need video equipment. Those people need to be in that meeting with your electrical engineer, with your building engineer, and y'all planning out these runs, and it's just it makes sense.
Yeah.
It just do what makes sense. Just do what makes sense.
Yeah.
and it does sound like it too. It does.
Being that's what my profession is. It's so important on how you and where you run things. Yeah. Because even in the future, you have to think future for that kind of stuff. Especially if you want a clean stage, you have to set everything up and prep everything. And you can't have data wires running right next to, the power wire, unless you got some super high dollar,
but just
shielded wire. But
just to clarify, a clean stage for people who may not know, that means a stage without wires running across it, without tape everywhere. Your stage is clear. You have all of your connections, but you can't see where everything is connected. That's a clean stage.
Thank you. I forgot.
People I vacuumed the other day.
What you mean?
I vacuumed the stage every.
Nothing can be up there now.
We vacuum our pulpit every week, faithfully.
No podium, but nothing.
Every Tuesday we vacuum our pulpit. It's so clean. We can take communion off our pulpit.
We've come across so many times where we've had to change the way we routed stuff, at the convention center, just because of where we needed to go and how audio needed to, I just learned this, working at the convention center. I should have known it, but we can't have lighting and lighting and audio on the same circuit with the same ground, because it gets dirty and it messes up the sound. And sometimes it even flows over into video too. So whenever we do I have to do a big transformer, I have to do 2 separate runs for lighting and then one for audio and video at the same time. So, it's stuff that goes into it, and everybody think you just get the magic plug and get a, 20-foot plug strip and just plug everything into that one thing. And then, you know, you're like, well, why does this sound like this on the recording? And, you know, you can get stuff to work it out. But if you plan ahead, you don't have to worry about, you know, having the ground on this and talking, you know, and having interfere. I'm trying to say it as, say it, you know, so people can understand. But
that's what people fail to realize is like, if you plan adequately, you don't have to spend money down the road on fixing the issues that failing the plan has caused. So it's like, you know, if you plan out your electric, you plan out all of your video, you plan out all this stuff when you're building, or if you're just coming into a building and it's like, okay, this is what we have this shell. How do we make our needs fit this shell? It just takes planning. You can't just go set everything up and then now you're troubleshooting and now you're wasting your time and your energy because now you set it up and now you got to take this down and rerun this and rerun. Like, who has that time? Because now you're not adequately preparing for the service that's coming up. And now you're ill prepared, like for the sermon that's coming up or for the lyrics that you need to type in, you know, stuff like that.
And
it's
then
like,
we aren't able to worship in our craft.
Because now you're too busy about like, you sweating
and frustrated.
You sweating and frustrated. You trying to pray the cussing demon off of you.
Sweating and frustrated.
You trying to pray the cussing demon instead of worshiping. You know.
God. That's the new shirt. Sweating and frustrated.
Just look at y'all sweaty and frustrated. Man, that is going.
We have to prepare. We definitely have to prepare. That's the biggest thing. I know we've been saying a lot of things that needs to get fixed, but you all are getting free game tonight. You know, you all are getting free information on how to be better, how to do better in your ministries. Call people.
This stuff costs you thousands of dollars to get. Like, just to sit down with people, you get charged thousands of dollars to get. We're giving it to you for free.
And we're not experts. We're just telling you all simple things that you all can do to better your.
I'm about to say, I can't agree with you on that one.
Sorry,
sir.
I got years in this game.
The day you look at yourself as an expert, I believe it's the day you stop learning. So we should always be novices, in my mind. You know,
I didn't say a master.
I'm an expert, not a master. But I've sweat too much, I've bled too much, and I've cried too much to be a novice. Like, everything I know now, I've paid for in blood.
Literally.
Literally and figuratively. So, like, I'm sorry, I will not be a novice for all this knowledge that I've worked hard to get. Like, I'm sorry. I'm still working hard to get it. Like, these videos, like that video clip that I show you, like, you're always striving for excellence. And that creates that unquenchable thirst. But like, I will never not thirst for knowledge.
Right. Yes.
But I also will give myself the credit that I worked hard to get. Like, I will not dumb myself down to make other people feel good. Like, no, you need to get on my level. You need to expert up, level up. I'm not gonna. It's time out for holding people's hands, and like, you have to hold them accountable to learn the stuff. Like, no, you should not be in this media ministry or this production ministry for 10, 20 years, and you don't know how to do the stuff that we do every week. Like, you should not be saying,
"How do you turn the computer on again?"
Ooh, slap in the face.
Have a Sandman button. Just get them.
Hey, just like, what's the point the floor? Just like dropping the floor.
Just drop them.
Cause like that, like if you know, like you have like, say for instance, we have convocation every year. You should not like have to email. Like, some people shouldn't have to email you like, what do you need for convocation? You should already be like, this is what we're doing. This is our plan. This is what we need. Like, send that to the leadership in January. Convocation's in August. Send it to them in January. Now we can budget for it. Now we can like plan for it. And we have time to set it up and test it. And we have other events that we can test it and make sure it works. That way, when convocation come, we're running on smooth selling. We smooth selling, baby. We smooth. Let's be smooth. That's all I'm saying. Like, it ain't gotta be hard.
Yeah.
It ain't gotta be hard.
And it won't be smooth. I'll just tell you all that. But it can be as smooth as possible.
It can be smooth.
It can be.
You know, we can try our best. But some things
You need to change your confession, sir.
one
Preach to
day,
him, Reggie. Preach to him,
one
Reggie.
day, man.
I had to get my holy voice on. Sir, you need to change your confession.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
We're not gonna think of like that around here.
You have to prepare for the worst, though. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying, you
that's
gotta
true.
be ready.
But how do you prepare for the worst? Is by being trained
Prepare.
and skilled in what you do to where whatever comes up, you already know the solution to. Like there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to be a student of the game. So you have to talk to people who do this daily. Like if you are learning, then talk to people who do this professionally. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what have you done in this situation? How can I help with this? Like using other people's knowledge and what other people fail, so you don't have to face those same pitfalls. Like that literally I started doing that when I was 11, volunteering at a festival by my house. That's how I got my audio start. I made myself available to that person that was doing the sound, and he trained me every consecutive year. I would come and volunteer to the point where I was running shows on my own. He would just like let me run a whole day, and I'm like, this is cool. And I'm a 15-year-old kid running like sound professionally for a festival.
Wait, so you weren't able to do it? You were just available?
I started off available, but I also had a thirst to learn it. You know,
And certain
huh?
certain churches will let you come into their rehearsals for free and teach you how to do these things. So don't think you have to spend $1 million, trillion, billion dollars. You can just like check your resources.
Dude, I learned this in sales. If you have a good, what's his name? He comes to the church and he does like the financial stuff, but he's like, get your golf game up or buy somebody some coffee. Like holding a conversation over coffee or a golf game will give you so much more knowledge that you would normally pay thousands of dollars for. And you would get it for free. You know, it'd be like, hey, we're looking to do this at my church. Can I just go buy you lunch and we talk about like what I'm planning on doing and just make sure I'm doing everything right? Because I do that. Like, I didn't know video stuff like 3-4 years ago. And so I sat down with video experts and I asked them, I was like, hey, what does this do? Why do you do this? What cable? Why are you running this cable instead of this cable? You know, and they were willing to teach me all of this to the point where now I'm installing video systems in the churches and stuff like that. And it's like, if it wasn't for that person taking that time out or me buying them dinner or lunch and talking to them about it, like I would not be in that position to do that.
That's
So
true.
it's just putting yourself in a position to learn instead of just like, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna learn through osmosis because, you know, ooh, that's a long.
I know. I
I
had
was
to
like-
lean in.
Reggie, you want to read your wife's comment? Can you
Text to speech. Let me hit the text to speech button.
she just put a whole sermon in the comment.
That's the
That's
benediction,
my
y'all.
baby, though. That's my baby. Oh, congratulations on the marriage, by the way. I forgot to say that earlier.
Oh, thanks, Reggie. I appreciate you. Man.
Why y'all doing? I'm gonna read this comment. Oh Jesus. Yep.
It's not magic. It's like you just found certain words in there.
Yeah, but you do have to make yourself available because you'll be surprised things that people know. And, you know, sometimes it's like you having kids. Like sometimes you just don't want your kids going through stuff that you went through. And you have to have that mindset of, you know, well, if this person has been in the game for 20 years, he's already bumped his head 50,000 times. So why I got to bump my head to get, you know, but some people do learn that way. Like I said earlier, they learn through bumping their head instead of, you know, just listening. Like, if you do it like this, it's going to work out. But you do have to make yourself available. You know, just talk to the people, you know, even if like me, I don't even like talking a lot. This is probably the most I've talked in a long time, believe me. But you have to put yourself out there and get people with that knowledge, especially if you have a gift yourself. Sometimes you don't have to pay for it, but sometimes you can barter. You're like, well, you know, okay, you do lighting. Okay. You doing the track? Well, I can do some music for your track. Come and do the lighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily, everything doesn't have to be you pay or you do this. Sometimes you can barter services, but you have to be open to go and talk to the people to even see, you know, where their head is at.
Dude, I did a show at Lincoln Hall, and their lighting guy, like we just were talking. I asked them about a light, and we got into a whole conversation. He's like, "Man, if you want me to just come to your church and talk to your lighting crew, like I'll do it, like for free." Like that type of connection is just like now those are divine. I feel like those are divine connections because it just went from like a question to now you have a wealth of knowledge coming to help your team grow.
Yeah.
You know,
God answers prayers in ways that we don't think he will. He doesn't do it the way we think that he's going to do it. So that coffee, those conversations, whatever it is, those moments that we don't think anything of, gotta be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I just put you here so I can do this, you know, just to show you like, yeah, I'm still God. I got it under control. I'll take care of it. Let's talk really quickly. What did you all?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What's your favorite part about production? Favorite part?
Reggie, you go first.
You want me to go first? I'm going to give you a little thought about it. My favorite part is the finished product, knowing that you planned it out and the plan came together and it works out, even if it's some hiccups or whatever. But if you thought about it, everybody met, we know what it's going to be. It's like everybody's on one accord because we know exactly what we're going to do. We know how it's going to be. I mean, surprises come, yeah, but we know, okay, if this happened, we're going to do this. So even planning in the mishaps, you can actually plan a mishap.
You really
all right.
can.
Yeah.
And, you know, once you start doing that and you see that plan come through, it's like a feeling of completion. Like, okay, we did this together. We got this done. We figured this out. So, you know, the part in the between is kind of satisfying. You know, you're doing the thing, you kind of doing what you do. You tune yourself out sometimes and just get it done. But, you know, at the end, when everything is done, and like for me, Comic-Con is one of our biggest shows in San Diego. And, you know, building it is pretty cool to see. But then when you see the people that's in there, you know, it's thousands and thousands of people walking around. Yeah. And, you know, they're looking at this and like, oh, you know, even though you've seen it 50 times already, you're like, oh my God, I got to see this again. Mm-hmm. But in the end, you're like, look at this kid's face. Look at, you know, when we do what we're supposed to do, and we, you know, not saying Comic-Con, but, you know, when God is glorified and God is exalted, and it's all a result of us coming together and planning and, you know, okay, this is how it's going to be. And, you know, God is showing up, and, you know, we always hear 2 or 3 gather together, God is in the midst. Right. You know, we always think like it has to be some chaotic thing for God to, you know, come together. Like God's going to show up when he show up. But the scripture also says there's 2 or 3 gathered. So if you having this plan and you guys are unified, God is going to show up because you're doing this towards him. And if you have that heart of worship, like we spoke earlier, it's all going to come into fruition. God is going to sit in the midst of it because you're putting him first.
And if God is in it from the beginning, it's not going to be hard. Like if you include him in every aspect of the planning and the setup and everything like that, then it won't be hard. Mm-hmm. And that's what people have to realize. It doesn't have to be hard. God has not put, you know, he's not an author of confusion. So it's like, if you put things in the right place, it'll work out. But to answer your question, there's multiple fulfilling moments for me throughout production. And that's in the planning, when you're talking to people who are knowledgeable about what they're doing and they get it, or someone who wasn't knowledgeable before and they get it, that moment of where it clicks and it's just like, awesome. That makes me feel good. Or the part where I'm able to delegate things to my team and they do it, and not only do it, but then they expound on it. And come to me with ideas. That makes me feel good. Seeing people walk into a stadium or a church for the first time and they're seeing this newness, that is a fulfilling moment for me. And then, like you said, the finished product, but then also taking time in the midst of the production to appreciate what's going right and not harping on what's going wrong. So it's like, man, they missed that cue, but they got the cue. They didn't fumble. They kept going. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing that you not only prepare people with skills, but they also prepare them like with the know-how to, you know, better themselves in what they're doing. So like a lot of people, if they're unprepared, they freak out at that one missed thing and they harp on that one missed thing. And it's like, no, it's constant. Time is constant.
Right,
Like you can't go back and fix it. You have to keep going. Like keep going, keep going, keep going. And like it's like that coach on that football field. Keep running,
Run, Forrest, run.
don't stop. So those are the multiple fulfilling moments for me. But
I know for me it is seeing people become creative and like thinking outside of the box. So taking ideas or taking concepts that have our old school have been used for years and years and years, and they're like, what if we do this with that? And a lot of times it's not anything like super crazy or elaborate. It's just like a little tweak, and it's just like, oh, that is so much better. And so seeing those moments where people are being creative, and then you have a group of people like Convocation. We love Convocation so much, I think, on the back end side, because we get to see all of these different people doing different things in different locations. And it's literally like, okay, we're throwing into a melting pot, all this creativity, and then something great is coming out of it every single year, and that's just wonderful to see people who love what they do also be creative and think outside of the box, and not just stick to what you would necessarily learn in the classroom, but saying, okay, I learned this by this, I learned that by that, we can do this with this, do that with that, and then it usually leads to something special. And also, of course, a great production at the end, great finished product.
So imagine if everybody on your team took what they do and learned everything they possibly could learn about what they do, and y'all put that together and create this one product that is the best product that y'all know y'all can come up with. Because y'all worked hard and you working together as a team, and you did your part. You're not trying to do everybody else's part. You're doing your part to the best of your ability. And now, like, God is getting the ultimate praise and worship from what you do. Like, imagine if everybody did that in every church. Like, just imagine it. Like, it would be insane.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're going to wrap this up because we are very over time. Reggie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate you.
This man is he's a legend.
He's a GOAT.
I can give out accolades.
Bro, you are a boat.
You
are the boat. Best of all time.
Best.
You are the best. You're the best. All right, thank you, Reggie. Hang out for a little bit backstage, and when we wrap this up, we'll talk to you real quick. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our segment on professional production. Hope you got a lot of stuff out of that. If you didn't catch everything, please watch it on the replay.
Yeah.
Also, we got merch. Like, help us further the vision of not just LIN Live, but LIN period, and buy merch. Like, it's gonna help us, and you're gonna look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? Get your merch.
Not your regular church guy, or not your regular church dude, not your regular church chick. Get it. We got some more merch coming for y'all soon too.
Ooh,
get ready.
Baby, we got merch coming.
We got merch. Yeah, make sure y'all support. Because that's how we're gonna keep this going.
For reals. And then follow us on Instagram at LIN Live Official.
Yes.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram because we're gonna be doing some cool stuff on there. You know, like all that cool stuff.
All that. Did we reach a milestone? I think,
bruh, we did reach a
milestone.
So because you all subscribed, and we have reached our 100 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very, very much. We will be scheduling and booking Leaving the Church the Right Way Part 2. So thank you all for everyone who subscribed. So now we have a new milestone. Now we got to get 250 subscribers.
You have to.
So that means everybody that's on Team LIN Live, that's each and every one of you that subscribe. It is your job now to spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread it like peanut butter on bread.
Peanut butter on bread.
That sounds good.
I am definitely going to give me peanut butter and jelly.
More peanut butter or more jelly? We'll get into that one of these shows.
Peanut butter or jelly? Doesn't matter. It's peanut butter jelly time. And then we have these announcements that's coming up. We're gonna do a rapid fire. Let's see.
Yes. Let's get it.
Boom. Apostolic Summit, October 10th, 11th, and 13th. We have
yes.
Apostle, I can't see the name.
Alexander Pagani
Yep.
and Apostle Assi Estrada. So Tuesday, I don't know the dates, but yes, we have
Tuesday 10/13 and October 11th. That's a Sunday.
yes,
That's
we have
awesome.
those.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, Tuesday.
Sabbath day prayer and decorations this Saturday, October 10th. Find all the information on the LIN page or libertytemple.org.
Yep. And then we have CET Day. Our
Yes,
founder, our founder, God bless his heart, and he has passed, but we celebrate his birthday in memorial of him. So there's going to be a special service that day or something happening that day. There's going to be special announcements, giveaways, activities. Make sure your face is in that place.
Yes. For the chief. Apostolic Sabbath prayer, worship prayer and declarations, October 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th. So that is every Saturday of this month. Be there. LIN Facebook page, also 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. men's prayer, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And then we have Apostle Prude's Rules and Tools of a Revelator. Online classes, there's only 2 more classes left. That's the 10th that's this Saturday coming up, and then November 14th. It's $49 per class. Make sure you register on Eventbrite. That information will be in the comments. We won't put it up here. It'll be in the comments. We have Is That in the Bible? Every Saturday at 8 p.m. hosted by our very own CEO of LIN, Apostle Darlene C. Turner.
Yes.
She makes sure she lets you know if it's in the Bible or not. So you'd be like, man, can I cuss this person out? It's in the Bible.
Let's shout out to the McNeelys, Apostle McNeely and Elder Patricia McNeely, in the new church location for Liberty Temple Zion. Hey, turn up. October 18th, 9 a.m. service. The information is on the screen. Once again, if you want information about that, libertytemplezion.com is where you can go for more information on that. libertytemplezion.com.
And then we have Naomi's Corner, Big Sis. That's October 30th, Friday, October 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have a facilitator of this, Chanel Collins. She's dope, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss it. And then
special guest facilitator, Danae Harris, as well. It's going to be really dope. It launches something new in the ministry. So women of all ages, make sure you're at that event.
It's free, but you must register to attend.
Please do.
And then game night, join in on the fun. I feel like one of the announcements, ladies at the church, join in on the fun. Network game night, Saturday, October 31st at 7 p.m. There's gonna be games, prizes, and fun. You know it's gonna be fun when they put fun on the flyer twice.
Let them know, fun. It's gonna be fun. So not just fun.
You know it's gonna be good because you said it twice. Fun.
Said it twice.
There's gonna be on Zoom, so the Zoom ID will be on the flyer, which will be on the LIN Facebook page.
Yes.
So look out for that. All right. Is that it? I think that's it. Did we do it?
I think that's it. I think that's all.
We're
waiting for it. Go buy your merch. All those announcements. Check out the LIN.
Adjust yourselves accordingly to the announcements.
Yes.
Slightly to the. Never mind. Oh man, I am so sleepy. With that being said, Sam, I think we're gonna wrap it up, bro.
Hey, so thank you all for joining us.
So buy your merch. Tune in next week. Oh my God, next week. Next week is the 11th, right?
Yes.
So we have 2 special guests that's going to be on the show next week.
We got some heat.
Coming for y'all. Like, I don't know if I can hold this. Like, I really want to say it. Can I say it?
I don't know, but I guess we can say it. One of them dropped some heat today, and I saw the heat that person dropped. And I'm not talking about the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. God, please pray for the Heat. No announcement.
So let's do this. You have to tune in to the LIN Facebook page and the YouTube channel, because we're going to post a commercial for the next week's show. And that's where you're going to find out who these heaters are coming through next week. So,
feels us.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just tune in. So, buy your merch. Tune in next week. We love you. Subscribe. Follow, like,
all that.
Keep commenting. We're going to be in the comments, hanging out in the comment section with you after the show. So let's hang for a little bit. If you want to keep posting comments, we'll answer them as best as we can. We love you, and we'll see you all next week.
Hey, God bless.
Bless y'all.
Oh, Dev, where is thy sting?
It's LIN live with Spank and Sam. It's a show for everyone.